Welcome back, everybody. Today, Demetra and I are going to talk all about makeup, and specifically makeup for when you're over 40, because I think there's a big difference.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Demetra always looks awesome, and will you please tell us the reason for that, i.e. your...
Cicely?
Yes.
Okay, so let me just start off with today. If you're YouTubing and actually watching us, you'll see I have absolutely no makeup on today, nothing. And that is for this episode, clearly, just to go all natural, right?
Yeah.
To promote what we're talking about. But my go-to golden of everything is a sunblock, right? Especially, I mean, I wish I started doing this in my 20s, but my favorite thing is Cicely's tinted sunblock. Now, before everybody starts freaking out, because everyone knows Cicely is kind of expensive, very little goes a long way. Not even a pea size will give me like almost a full coverage. And it's sunblock. And since I have rosacea, people can see all these little run marks, right, on my skin. And I hate seeing that, even though I have good skin. So when I use this, not only is it giving me full protection and moisturizes your skin, and it's giving you sunblock, and it's blocking out all the rays that actually age us, right?
Very
So
important.
that's why Barbara thinks I look so good. But yes. I think so too. It does make my skin look literally flawless. It gives a medium coverage. So some people say, oh, it's kind of like a foundation, but I don't wear foundation at all, ever. That's all I use. It's my go-to.
Yes. And it works well. So
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to do this episode because I kind of want to talk about, I think people that aren't in the beauty industry or, if you're not somebody who looks at social media for like the get ready with me videos and all that, might not understand a very big deal for if you're over 40 is the primers. So primer for your skin, primer for your lips, primer for your lashes, and primer for your eyeshadow, which I
Mm-hmm.
know is a ton, but that's if you're like doing a full face. But I do think the primer really helps because it's like this velvety, smooth, gel-looking thing, and it fills in wrinkles or crevices or whatever and makes your skin surface really smooth so that your canvas is like ready to go.
So the primer kind of acts as like a filler, so to speak, for like a temporary. See, I've never used a primer before.
Really?
Never. I'm not a big makeup person. That's why I'm happy to be having this episode because I just have like three or four things that I do. So I'm kind of happy to be talking about it and hoping that some people can give us some feedback by listening to this. They could tell us some of their favorite products and why they like it in the comments, things like that. But I've never used. One time I've done a primer for like my lashes,
Mm-hmm.
and that was really really nice.
Yeah.
But I've never used it on my actual skin, which probably someone like me can benefit because I have very big pores as well. And that's another reason why I don't like using foundation because I feel like they enhance them, more.
Right.
So primers, I'm writing this down. I'm going to take notes today. Okay, so primer. Do you have a favorite primer or like a go-to?
I think the one I use is either MAC or Urban Decay. Urban Decay has a really awesome eyeshadow primer. Well, they have a couple different ones, but
Okay. So you're saying like you can't use that primer like all over your face and under the eyes, like a face one? You say you need to literally do like different primer for here, here, here.
no, no.
Oh,
So, the main primer you need is for the skin on your face, right?
okay.
But you wouldn't necessarily put that same primer on your eyelid.
Okay.
So an eyeshadow primer is meant for your lid, and it helps the color to sit on top, and the color lasts longer. It also doesn't settle into creases.
It doesn't melt. See,
Right.
that's what I'm doing wrong, which I don't use eyeshadow often, but that's the reason why. I'm like, oh my God, by the end of the day, it's melting and literally just sits in like the crevices. Okay, so
Yeah.
that makes sense because that's probably something that's more mattifying and drying. So you definitely would not want to be putting that under your eyes.
Right.
Okay.
Well, and also if you've ever, for when you're going out or even Halloween, if you like, say you wanted to put a bright color on your eyelids,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've tried this, but like say bright blue, like an electric blue, when you put the eyeshadow on with a regular brush, it's not going to look like the same color as in the pot, you know? And that's
Mm.
why where the primer comes in, because the primer makes it show up the true color too.
Wow, kind of like the same thing with coloring hair. Brings us
Yes.
back to the basics, baby.
Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
primer for eyelashes is it's usually white and it makes it like as a stringy thing that makes
Mm-hmm.
your lashes look longer. So then you put like black mascara on top of it. Correct?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
I've used that before. For me, my lashes tend to fall out with mascaras. So if they're too drying, they
Oh.
just like crack up. So I actually need a moisturizing mascara, which is very hard to find because a lot of companies don't make them because most people want like a waterproof, and I can't do that. I need something more moisturizing. Hence, sometimes you'll see it, later on during the day under my eye, but I mean, it keeps
Do
them
you
from
know
falling out.
what one woman I used to work with was a huge fan of dyeing her eyelashes black, like actually
Mm-hmm.
using a little kit because that I mean, I like mascara. I don't want to go like Tammy Faye, but I like a few coats to make it look like I have more
Mm-hmm.
lashes.
Yeah, that's if I had to choose any besides the sunblock, but like makeup wise, mascara.
Yeah,
Hands down. Before anything, that's the one thing I'm like, I have to use mascara every day.
gotcha. Me too. Me too. So, face primer is also called, I just want to go back to this because it's kind of an important note for this
Mm-hmm.
whole episode. The face primer for your skin is also referred to as pore minimizer. So, like,
There we go.
and I don't think people know this either. Like, I want to talk about BB cream and CC cream because those are
Mm-hmm.
a big deal now.
Yeah,
But even those, they advise to do a primer first.
that is crazy. I just bought myself a CC cream,
Oh, good.
just so I can have something in between because my Sicily, I use that every day when I go to work, and like I said, it is very expensive. So I was looking for something that was a little bit more like inexpensive that I can use daily that still had similar. And it's a CC cream, and the brand is called Supergoop. I
Oh,
don't know if you ever
yeah.
heard of it. I just got it the other day. I'm not sure if I matched my color correctly, but I have to say, I am really liking it. It's very comparable to my Sicily.
Hey,
Yeah, and it's like a fourth of the price.
nice.
I know.
I've been using a Supergoop lip balm,
Mm-hmm.
and I have it at work actually. I love
You
it. It's
do?
so good. It's like very moisturizing.
Mm.
And I found it because I kept looking for when I would go on vacation, like it's very easy for me to like burn my lips, and I can't
Mm-hmm.
stand that.
Does it have
Um,
SPF in it?
yes,
Oh, good.
because if you think about it, when you're going into the sun and you're not as used to it, or like a much hotter place or whatever. So, and I have friends who are even more sensitive than me, and like wherever their hair is parted, they burn and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. So I know there are actually like powders that you can put on your part
Oh, they have
because,
powders now. That's better because I used to tell my clients like when they would go to places and they would get the braids and then they're like, "Oh, I have dandruff all of a sudden." And I'm like, "You were just in Mexico and you had a head full of braids." No, you actually have sunburn. "Oh, no, I don't." I'm like, "Yeah, you do. That
yeah,
was from sunburn because your skin was exposed, right?"
yeah,
And some people are like, "Well, I don't want to put sunblock. It's too greasy, right?" Or putting that in and it gets in their hair.
right,
That is great. A powder SPF to put in your hair.
yeah. I'm gonna
Love
look
it.
into that and like maybe even buy some and try them out. But like also
Me too.
listeners, like if you have little baby hairs, a lot of us do. I mean, I actually
Yeah.
think baby hairs are kind of cute, but under those areas, that will get really burned too.
Yes.
You got to be careful.
We're,
You can't
right
just like,
here, were we all thin, right? Once you hit 40, right? Because we're talking about makeup and over 40. The biggest thing I've seen over my 20 something years, everyone, when you hit 40, starts to thin at the round of the head. When they say the round of the head, see, even mine, look at that. See, I have these little
mhm.
baby hairs. This is where we lose as women. We start to lose hair first, all right here, right?
Yeah,
So you need that also protected with an SPF for sure.
yeah. Well, and
Yes.
there's certain things. I mean, we can. This is a whole other episode, but there's other products you can get to kind of regrow hair and things like that in those
Hmm.
areas. But I gotta tell you, like when people are kind of feeling upset about their thinning right there, I'm always like, okay, let's look at J Lo. J Lo is amazing and gorgeous, and
Love
she has.
her.
I even
Love
love
her.
how they like do a little swoop with the baby hairs. Love
I
it.
love that. I love that. You get a
Yeah,
little mascara brush to do it.
yeah,
That's a little trick. Hmm.
yes.
Well,
Um,
I want to say really quick how you were saying about the lips, though, with the SPF. You guys, it is important. I just had someone who actually they had to take a portion off because she had
oh,
melanoma on her lip. And I have someone where her husband just had it behind his ear.
oh.
So, yes, because of golfing, and she's a golfer too. So, this isn't just men, women. You're wearing a hat, and sometimes your ears are partially covered. So, put a little sunblock on the tips of your ears too. That's really important. As we get
Yeah.
older, I mean, it all goes back to the health as
And the
well,
back of your
right?
neck, if your hair is up, or
Yep,
for
always.
men.
I always put it right here. I go like this, like
Yeah.
that.
And that I went off track. That's why I found the super goop because I was really researching it because um I can't remember what it was. I think it was like a Victoria's Secret makeup like a little pot of like lip gloss. And I
Hmm.
actually liked it. And I took it with me on vacation and because I used it a lot on the regular, went on vacation, put that on my lips, and I think it like magnified the sun onto my lips. And like that's
So you
how I
got
like
burnt.
burned. And then I was like, I don't even know what to do. I mean, it was painful and it was my own
Yeah.
fault. But I then, go immediately and to the resort and I'm looking for like SPF, how they sell SPF
Yeah.
everything for like four times the price at the resort. And
Yeah.
you get those little like chapstick looking things. They're not
Hmm.
very like moist and I don't know. And
That's what
like
I was
that's
going to
supposed to
tell
be
you. Aquaphor has a lip balm with SPF
oh
30 in it, which is so it's super, super duper hydrating,
yeah.
but it has the SPF. It doesn't taste the best, right, on your lips, but very little goes a long way.
Yeah.
I've made the mistake of putting too much on because it's Aquaphor, right? And again, it has SPF. So that's something you could put on before you put on maybe even a lip tint because
Yeah.
you're going to be protected and it's
Yeah.
really moisturizing. So if you're looking for something inexpensive, not advertising, not getting anything back from these companies, where I'm just giving my own personal,
Yeah.
opinions on stuff, what I've used and what has worked for me.
Yes. But yeah, I'll show that to you at work,
So
Demetra.
it's
That
kind of like a primer,
the
priming
super
your
goop.
lips.
Yeah.
Yeah, priming your lips as well. Okay. What else?
Okay, when we talk about like taking care of your face, there's all the huge array of skincare routine, right? Like cleanse, tone, serum, moisture, all these things.
Hmm.
And the serums, I mean, that's kind of crazy. It is nice when people who are making these products can condense them a bit. So, like your Sicily, how it's like medium coverage, SPF, moisture. I
All in
like that.
one.
I like
Love
that sort of
it.
thing because there's so many steps. But the primer goes right after moisturizer. And just in case you're kind of a beginner, I want to say you need to do your serum, wait a few minutes, moisturizer, wait a few minutes, primer, wait a few minutes. Because like if you put the primer on and then immediately go in, like you
Yeah.
need to like let it soak in.
Right.
So I kind of try to, I don't know. I'll do like one thing, brush my teeth, do the next thing. Sometimes I go kind of out of order, like I'll do my eyes while I feel like the primer's setting.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Um,
Just to save time. Can
yeah.
I just bitch for a second?
Yeah.
Again, being a woman, I don't care what anyone says. This is out of control.
It
Just
is.
the grooming. And I know some people out there are going to be like, you don't have to do these things. Well, I'm sorry. But if you want a proper cleanse, you need to exfoliate your skin. And if you want your lotion to get in properly, I mean, I don't know. Just being a woman is expensive. And there's a lot of steps to being fucking awesome. That's all I'm going to
Yeah.
say. Right? Okay.
Yes. But
Sorry.
there's
Continue.
so many different products and things to do, but I would say when we're breaking it down here, because I agree with you, and I'm
Yeah.
actually deep down a tomboy, so a tomboy who does makeup sometimes, and um, I just think once you are starting to get some wrinkles, or your skin isn't the same as when you were 20, when you're 40.
Yeah,
So
it's
the
not.
primer makes a huge deal. And even if, like, say you're an easy peasy person, you could do Sicily like every day. Say you're going to go to the theater or on a date, you're going to want to actually put like foundation on. Make sure you do primer first
Hmm.
because that sets you up for success.
All right. Well, I have that on my list. I'm going to look into a good primer. So people listen. Let me know what are your favorite primers. Demetra needs a good primer. I have big pores.
I do too.
Yes.
And I have one of those like super, super magnifying mirrors
Ugh.
for putting my makeup on because, and honestly, that's how I put contacts in.
Oh, really? Those
Because I
mirrors
need,
are dangerous. They're like good and bad, you know?
well, it makes you think you have big pores when you probably have
Mm,
regular.
you're probably right. Well, I don't I have no makeup on today. So what do we say? But see my rosacea. See how pink I am?
Girl, you look perfect. Stop it.
You're too sweet. Gosh.
Okay,
All
so
right.
BB cream and CC cream take the
Yes,
place of foundation.
they do. Okay.
So you still need primer if you want it to,
Mm,
like, also it glides on better. So even like your Sicily, how it's like quite pricey, but you love it. If you did a
yeah.
primer first,
Hmm.
you could use even less because it would spread further.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
So if you're not a foundation person, and I think most of us these days, especially after COVID, like I've really scaled back my makeup routine. Okay, so I looked this up because who actually knows this? BB cream stands for
Okay.
beauty balm. And it is a sheer, and it's really, to
Okay.
give you a little bit of color while doing everything your skin needs. So
Hmm.
it's really
So
like
like a
skin
moisturizer,
focused,
basically.
but
No,
sheer
really
coverage.
coverage.
So BB cream. Yeah, and you can also get BB cream that's anti-red. L'Oreal makes one.
Hmm. Hmm.
And so that anti-red, it actually looks green, going back to the color wheel, because green cancels out red. I would say like the
Okay.
BB and CC cream, when I was looking them up, they're both considered tinted face cream.
Okay.
And they're both used instead of foundation. CC cream has more coverage than BB cream. CC cream stands for color correcting. So
Oh my
more
gosh.
coverage than the BB cream.
Be cream. Well, I have a question for you, Barbara. I'm not sure if you're familiar with this, but when I was trying to pick out the color for the Super Goop,
Yeah.
because I was doing it online, I started looking it up and there's color tone for our skin. And I get so confused, right? So I looked it up. I just want to read it to you really quick because you might know. I don't know, but this was very confusing to me. So when I kept looking up to try to figure out what my undertone is, right? To pick out the right color, because they're like, oh, cool tones, blah, 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 whatever. Okay, check out vein. Here it is. Okay. So it says, check out your veins, right? So if you can see your veins, you may be able to use their color to identify your undertone, right? So this is a little confusing to me. It says, for example, if your veins look greenish, then you may have warm undertones. People with blue or purplish looking veins usually have cooler undertones. If you have neutral undertones, then your veins may appear colorless or match the color of your skin. Okay. Very confusing to me because I am, probably can't tell now, but I'm very olive and you can see my veins. I am pure green. So they're saying I'm a warm undertone, but I'm actually olivey, which to me, you think a color is greenish, right? So when I was explaining this to my sister who knows a lot about makeup, she kept saying, no, or, when they're saying that you're warm undertone, does that mean you're supposed to buy a cool color or do you buy the warm undertone? Okay, so I effed up. So I got,
Warm.
okay.
Olive is a form of green, and green is half
So I'm kind of
blue,
more
which is
neutrally.
cold, and half
That's why.
yellow, which is warm.
Oh, that's what she, okay, you just said it. My sister was trying to explain it to me yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
We were going back
Yeah.
and forth to the point where I was just like, forget it, forget it. I'm done. It almost turned into an argument. She needs to see this episode because I wasn't understanding how she was saying, but you just said it perfectly. So thank you for clarifying that because I'm sure a lot of people out there too are confused. Like I was looking it up because I'm like, how do I choose? How do I know, what my undertone is? Okay.
Well, for a long time, I was a really big fan of MAC. I still am, but MAC it gets really confusing, the different foundation lines, like choosing a color, whether you're getting like a BB or CC cream, a tinted moisturizer, any of those. And some of them, like MAC will say their foundation colors are like they number them, but then they say UC or NC, which is neutral cool.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then I was really interested in the Kat Von D line, and they use different abbreviations, and I get really confused. It's a lot. But when you're trying to buy foundation, you want to find the color that is exactly what you are naturally, and like you're evening out anything that isn't the norm for your skin, right? So if you have pink cheeks, or like me, I have a purple under my eyes, that's when you get like well, there's all sorts of videos about under eye bags and putting red lipstick on them. That's if they're like kind of green, right? But like the super
so it's
purple,
very similar to like
you
the
want to
color
put like
wheel
something
of doing hair
yellowy
color
right on top to make it.
So the makeup
color
is the same as the hair coloring, basically. The color wheel doesn't change per se, even for skin. Okay.
No, the easier part about makeup is it's more straightforward. I mean, besides foundation, like, because you're trying to match skin. Hair is more complicated in the sense that you're talking color, using the color wheel to change and adjust things, but you have to adjust all of your thoughts to include brown.
Wow. Yeah,
or
it's
a
a little
natural
more
color, like a color that
complicated.
would naturally grow out of someone's head. Do you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
If you have white hair and you want it to be reddish brown, you need a ton of brown and just a tiny bit of red. Because if you just like pick up a box at the store that says like, oh, this is a nice copper,
because you're putting it on white
hair color, and you
but
put
if
it
you
on,
put it on brown
it'll
hair,
be
now
like
you need more red.
Orange fire, right? So, anyway, back to BB and CC are very good options. I just want to say one more time, these primers will even make those look better. And if you're like me and have not yet taken the plunge into fillers or Botox, primer is your best friend. One other product I wanted to mention is Uemura. Like, I love Uemura hair care. Uemura started out as a makeup artist, and he had lash bars, like of artificial lashes. And so Uemura is like most known, well, at least internationally, for their eyelash curler, which is here.
Really? I've never curled my lashes.
If you're going to wear your natural lashes, you really want one of these bad boys. Ooh.
Okay.
Well, lately I've been getting into the magnetic eyelash extensions. Like, well, so it's just a strip, but you use magnetic eyeliner. That's what I'm kind of into right now. But anyway, Uemura started, I didn't even realize this. I looked it up because I wanted to have the exact date. L'Oreal owns them now because he's passed away. But in 1960,
I love cleansing
he came out with, I think, the first ever cleansing oil.
Like half the time I don't even need an eye makeup remover. Yeah, it's nice. I love cleansing oils.
Okay, so I just wanted to give them a little shout out because Uemura and the eyelash thing is such a big deal. So if you're somebody who likes an eyelash curler, get yourself one of those. It's amazing. And then we wanted to talk about brushes because brushes are such a big deal as far as like how your makeup's going to look. So, and if you're just listening, you might want to head over to our YouTube channel. I'll put a link in there because I'm going to show you a bunch of brushes. So these bad boys are for foundation, liquid foundation.
Oh, super fine flatheads. Okay.
Yeah. And it's like super fine. So, and this will blend it without like, if I don't know if you've done this before, but when you use your fingers, it isn't as even. So there's like a light way to make it where there's no marks from using it. This is a contouring brush. If you're into the let's put dark here and light there and all that stuff. These are for blush or face powder. I love this little one from MAC. This is a highlighter brush. So if you're using powder highlighter, and it's like a little fan brush. super light to the touch. Okay. This, I don't even know. It came in a pack.
It does look, well, like it looks like something
came
all
in the
women should
package, and I
have.
was
So
like,
maybe that's why it came in the package.
looks a little
Hint,
weird.
hint. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah. You know.
Yeah, I have one of those.
Demetra knows what's up.
Yeah.
These are really cool. I love these. This, you do? Eyeliner brush. I mean, and let's just say, I mean, these brushes are made for specific reasons, but you could use them for whatever. This one I love for, okay, I think it's designed for dipping it in like a dark eyeshadow and using it as eyeliner. I don't know if this would work for your wet line. You know, the part of your, if anyone's not sure what that is, the part of your under your lids where it's wet all the time. But I also really like these. I have a really dark brown eyeshadow that is not sparkly at all. And I use one of these and I fill in powder in my eyebrows and it looks like really, really natural. I love it. Love that.
I sure did.
So, and these ones, these kind, where they're kind of like flat like this. Oh, did you see that powder?
Oh, the flat. Okay.
Concealer. So liquidy stuff that you're putting on. These are really great for under eye. And another reason you want this sort of stuff, like I always use my pinky, but like these will get it exactly where you want it to be and nowhere else.
Oh, it's
this
like a sponge.
Is like
like a little sponge.
A blender. So this is like the foam thing. Like, you know, the sponges are such a big deal now for foundation or whatever. And blending, you know, as you see people using like cream products to do contouring. And I also think that's really cool. I love watching that stuff online where people are showing you, like, they'll put, you know, cream blush and like the dark bits and the light bits, and then they use sponges and things to blend it all out. This little guy, this itty bitty little thing.
I use him for my eyes. I've never used him for my lip, but I use him
really great for lip or eyeliner. MAC started making, I don't know if they started it, I can't remember, but for professional makeup artists, use kind of a gel liquid liner that comes in a pot. So you would use something like this, because this is something that you would see inside of a, like, say you had a liquid liner that was like in a pencil form and you pull off the top, you'd find something similar to this little dude. Anyway, good stuff. All these are for your eyes in different fashions. I have an excess. I don't need this many. But this is a really cool one because it's two-sided.
It's more
but
dense.
I just want to explain this to people. Like, do you see this side is like really packed, tight? Yes, dense. And this one is like much less so. It's just very flexible. So it's packing and spreading. So when you have eyeshadow, you want to use the packing one to get a lot of color on. So especially if you think about, like, say you want a darker section on the corner, right? You want to really get a lot of powder on this, like pack it full of color, and then you pack it on. And it might not be like blended and perfect and pretty.
Kind of feather it out
when you go to this
it's like
bad
softer and has
and
more.
like spread it out. And you go over it lightly.
Wow. Nice.
And it looks like a perfect ombre. Love those things. Now, love the brushes. Great conversation. Side note, we want to talk about the Wow cover-up. So, this guy with the... So the powder is a little bit glittery. Covers your roots. And it comes with this nifty brush. I'm going to show you the brush. Here we go. Packing and spreading out. So when you use these things, if you were to like dab it on, you want to get a lot of color on the packing brush, dab, 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 and then it might be like some spots look like more heavily covered, and you take this one and blend it out. Yeah. And Demetra told me this hack. Tell me how you put root cover up on.
Oh, yeah. For bigger. Yes,
So
that's right.
say you have a lot
so
of
someone has
roots,
like a big
you could
outgrowth, let's say,
use
because sometimes the brushes are
a
little.
blush.
Yeah, just use a blush brush because then you're getting a bigger coverage. Let's say you have like a 1 inch. People are like, oh, it's going to take forever.
Yeah.
No, man, use your blush brush. Get in there. Yeah. And you want to know another hack really quick too? Not all my clients or people I
Get
know
in
that
there.
use the blushes,
Oh.
they'll use the spray on the top.
Yeah.
And they use powder on the sides because they don't feel comfortable trying to spray their sides because it's going to get
Yeah.
on their face. So a lot of people don't have spray or like just a spray or just a powder. Most of the people have two, and that's the reason why they have sprays and powders too. To use them differently. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. If you're doing like a ponytail and you have some gray or white roots,
When I'm trying to do a very sleek pony, not like my everyday pony, but if I had like a gala or something to go to and I'm going for that very sleek look, I don't want to look like I have like no hair in the front. That's when I use the blush brush. And I just kind of, and I fan it out too. So it doesn't look like a line either, like I'm wearing a helmet, you know? Yeah.
and it looks fuller.
I
Now,
have.
and Demetra, have you ever used a finishing
Okay.
spray on your face?
Oh, I hear that one's amazing. I've never used it though.
All right, I
People
have one
love
I
it.
really like. This one, MAC.
Okay, so tell us what it actually does though.
It might be in my mind, but I think it really works.
Sounds nice.
So this is lavender
Okay.
skin refresher. It's called Fix Plus Finishing Mist. So it sets your makeup. I mean, it's not going to do anything bad if you were like, I just think I would like to put this on my bare skin. But so after you put all of this artistically painting the canvas, which is your face, if you spritz this on, it's a real fine mist and it sets everything. So you're less likely to lose any of the makeup from,
Wind tunnel.
I don't know, a wind tunnel, sweat.
Sure, right. Doing it.
If you're hanging upside down
Okay.
in a
Cellar.
cellar, you know.
See where
all
your
these
mind
things.
is. Were you watching serial killer movies last night again? Oh, just a wild guess.
I was.
God, I
It's
have
like
so many questions. So if you're a
lot.
psychopath, can you reach out to us so we can interview you?
Oh, yeah.
Right. Do your makeup.
Yeah, and if
Barbara's
you want
really
makeup,
good with
we'll
doing
do your
eyes.
makeup
She'll
too.
do your eyes.
Well, and I used to do like theater makeup and
Okay.
stuff. So
Hey,
I'm really
girl.
pretty decent
Love
at
it.
putting eyeliner on somebody else. Just saying. And if someone's putting makeup on you, don't look at them right in the eye.
Yes.
That's a big no-no. Look at the ceiling. My last thought on these things is that it is a little bit interesting to me how it seems to go in phases where what's kind of
Yeah.
in as far as your complexion is either glowy or matte or this or that. It's almost like the eyebrow thing, how in the 90s, everybody plucked them like within an inch of their life. And now you're
Yeah.
supposed to have some bushy lashes.
Right.
And those of us that
Doesn't
lived through
matter.
both of those things are like, what the hell? I'm pretty, just like say it, you know? Anyway, but likewise, they actually make primers that are meant to be like mattifying, or I think other ones that are supposed to make you more glowy or this or that. So you can get kind of crazy with those
Yeah, I'm
awesome
doing it.
primers. But
Doing it today. More shopping. Great.
moral of the
Thanks,
story,
Barbara.
get yourself a primer, ladies.
Yeah.
Last thought, something funny I saw on Amazon for sale that I thought to myself, why wasn't this around when I was a kid?
Mm-hmm.
You know how there's all these different versions of eyeliner, how like the wing or the this or the that or the, you know, and whether or not to use eyeliner on your lower eyelashes or, you know, all that stuff. They have something that is like a stamp. So say you want like a winged liner, and
yeah.
as everybody knows, the hardest part of that is like getting them to be equal, even. So, well, and also eyeshadow, bane of my existence. I'm like, you know, you want the colors like where they go to be symmetrical, right? So it's very hard, especially if you're not ambidextrous, to get the perfect like winged liner on each side. They have stamps. It's like a black stamp,
Stop.
and it's like a little.
What do you mean? Like
it looks like a
you,
Nike.
like close your eye and go
and
like
you
this?
stamp it. Yep. It's a stamp. Well, you got to open one eye
Okay.
while you're doing it.
There. I got it.
Ah,
Use that little thin brush and I use a powder. because this way it's not so perfect and it just gives me so then I can kind of blend it out a little. Because I found that I'm not good at it at all, but I love that. I loved the liner look, like the old school cat eye. Like,
Yeah.
first of all, I'm too old for it because my lids just kind of, so they end up like falling in that. It's never like a nice line. So if I use the powder over my eyes, I could kind of somewhat get that effect, but in a more smudged kind of way.
Yeah.
So now I've just used that really thin one and I put it like as if I'm using, and then I just take the other side and just soften it out a little like that. Mm-hmm.
Very nice. I love liquid eyeliner, and I'm getting to the point though where when I put it on, it's like it's settling into creases.
The struggle is real.
That I didn't put it in. Oh dear. Anyhow, so I might need to amend what I'm up to on that. Well, thanks so much for joining us on the makeup extravaganza. Yes. And please put in questions or your opinions. We want to see comments. Tell us what you think. All right. We will catch you next time. Bye.